Hey YouTube, it's Sean.
Alright, this is what we're doing. We're building a welding rotary table for our welding. Make it a little easier to weld round objects, especially that you can want to just weld around stuff. Alright, the only motors that I had available on hand this is going to be a cheap build. This motor right here, probably if you bought it would be expensive, but you can find old electric wheelchairs free on Craigslist all over the place. Not all over the place, but you know, often keep looking, you'll find them.
Yeah, I took the electric brake off the back, and it's just got a hex right here, and this is an electromagnet in here, and here's the other one off the other side. But that electromagnet sits in the back side of the motor, and there's the other hex that hooks to the motor, and there's the hex on the magnet, and it just basically stops the motor real quick. We don't need that, so we don't need it. Alright, I did take the motor off the gearbox, but I'm gonna be reattaching that, and it's just driven by this disc in here, and basically it's low geared already, but I'm sure it'll turn fast enough for welding. But I think this is a 12-volt motor, but it come off a 24-volt scooter, but I think it had 24 volts, 12 volts for each, for each side. You have a left and a right motor. But I don't know that. Yeah, this is marked right. So what I want to do right now, though, is to see if this thing runs. Need to repair the post on this battery here too. But let's see if we can get this motor to fire out. Oh yeah, she runs. This one's a little gravelly. Got some torque. But it runs. Alright. And basically, when you hook the motor up to the gearbox with this little disc right here, if I can get it out of there. There it is. Alright. And then that disc has just a little slot in it, and so does the motor, and it just goes in there. And I'm going to see if I can reattach things here. I hope I can. I'm sure I can. Let's see. Line it up across the bolt pattern here. That little slot. Try to do the same thing with the motor here. Excuse me, the gearbox. Don't know. Might work, might not. Actually, I think it did. I think it did. So we'll put our little Allen screws back in. It's amazing that they only had 2 Allen screws or cap heads holding this together, but that's it. That's all they had. and that their thing in the center is just made out of rubber. So imagine if you stalled it out too much, it'd probably just pop that link there, you know. I don't know. I've never had an instance to mess with this type of a motor too much, but I can see they have plenty of torque though. Alright, let me get the Allen wrench out. Hang on. Alright, we got our Allen wrenches now. Let's bring it back here where you can hopefully see what we're doing again. I think those was right there. Stand one up. I like these ball end Allen wrenches because situations like this where you're kind of close to something, kind of kick it off to the side a little bit, take up the slack best you can. Then you can actually tighten her down. This one here is kind of got some junk in the threads, I guess. We'll get her back together though. There we go. Tighten on this one a little bit. Let's see if we can get show you guys what the speed's like, you know. But even then, this is going to be running too fast for welding, for a turntable for welding, because we won't be needing much rotation speed, much RPM for welding. Let's see if it'll run again. Turn that shaft. There it is. Now I don't know what RPM that is. I don't know what RPM that is, but seems a little fast to me. But it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be using a battery. I'm going to be using a speed control. In other words, I'm going to be using a power supply that I can plug into the wall, and then I'm going to be using a speed controller like a 12 volt. I ordered those up on eBay and waiting on them. We'll get them. No, actually I think I got those. I do. Alright, anyway, this is what it does. This is a 3/4 shaft with what I think is a 14mm, not sure what pitch yet, thread. So I'm going to go on the lathe and turn me a piece for this, and then I got a drill press table. So I'll show you that. Alright, this is what we made. Had a piece of steel and I turned it on the lathe so it could go down in this drill press table. Then I just tacked it up on this side and threaded it through so that it could screw onto that motor. Now we got to weld this around here, and then we're going to build our power supply and we'll do some hookup part, you know, hook it all together and see how it works. Alright, well, let's see if we can get this part going.
I know welding cast iron, but you know what? This thing's not going to get stressed. You know, it's basically set something on it and weld it. So it's not meant to go down the road or anything. I bet it doesn't fall apart, put it that way. Alrighty. That ought to do real well. That's all it's got to do is hold that piece of steel in there so that the table and the tube is connected. Like a welding table, it's not like it's got to have any drag on it. Yeah, pretty good looking welds, not bad at all. I think they'll hold just fine. Alright, now we gotta let that thing cool off. I polished all the rust off of it. It looks better. It was pretty rusty, but that's gonna be pretty good for a cheap and easy welding table. So let me get that there speed controller wired up, and we're going to call this part 1. And in part 2, I hope to be showing y'all how well this thing works or doesn't work. But it's plenty big enough, plenty of surface here. I think I got a tape measure. Hang on one sec. I do, right behind me here. So we're going to measure right across. And it looks like it's a 11 3/4 inch table or something like that. 11. Yep, 11 3/4, roughly in there. Looks like it's almost right on 3/4. Anyway, 11 3/4. That's way bigger than I need for you know, what I'm going to be doing. But it's got the slots in it where I can bolt something down and turn something, and this is not going to break. Nothing like something small
Now you can set something on there and turn it. Set something pretty heavy on that without even having a problem. So this is going to be my cheap and easy welding rotary table. Alright, we'll bring you back. Hope y'all enjoyed. Love y'all. Sorry about the bad camera work. Take care. Part 2 coming up. Love y'all. Bye bye.